I'm YB Carr. I've been in B2B software sales for the last 15 years. I've closed over $25 million in deals, and even I've lost deals I should have won. Not because I didn't know the right questions to ask, but because I forgot live in the moment when the deals matters most. So I built VoxIntel. We're navigating sales teams out of the morgue and into the cockpit. The morgue? Yeah, I buried plenty of deals there. One that comes to mind is a $180,000 deal when I was at Twilio that we lost because no one asked who owned security. By the time we got around to it, the deal was dead. And I'm not alone. 63% of B2B reps miss quota annually, and that number hasn't changed in 20 years. 75% of deals stall in discovery, not because of training, but because reps forget what questions to ask live when they're talking to the prospect when it matters most. And let's be honest about every tool that exists on the marketplace right now. Post-call review is a post-mortem. You're analyzing the cause of death 3 days later and then hoping that you don't die the same way again. BCG put a number on it. They said that AI-assisted coaching increases close rates by 30%. This isn't a training problem, it's a performance problem. And this is how it works. VoxIntel joins your live Zoom, Teams, Google Meets call in real time and prompts reps with what questions to ask. It identifies gaps in real time and it suggests next best steps. Every rep follows an industry standard methodology and leaders get clean pipeline data automatically after every call. The market here is huge. It's $28 billion. That's businesses globally not currently using Gong, Chorus, or Clary. But we're going to be hyper-focused. We're targeting the 40,000 mid-market teams in the United States. That's a $400 million beachhead. Gong, you may know them, the gorilla in the room. Their entry price is $29,000. Ours, $825. That's a 35-time cost advantage to our customers, the mid-market. Gong already proved that the category is worth billions. They just left our customers behind. The lane is open, and we're taking it. And what makes this defensible? Well, I spent 15 years in the room where deals die. I've built the methodology to fix it. It's the layer between a demo and a sales contract that most salespeople skip entirely. After 1,000 calls, we can tell a revenue leader something like, deals where legal is involved before stage 3 close 40% more often. There's no service on the market that is giving revenue leaders that type of information. We've built that into our process and into our platform. Pricing's simple. $55 per seat, that's our core rep coaching layer. The command layer is the enterprise leadership layer. You get everything in core, plus deal brain, deal health, pipeline forecasting, all the things that revenue leaders want to see. One story I want to tell quickly is about Jane Harak. She's a senior director of sales at Cineverse. It's a mid-market communications firm. After our demo, she came back to me 10 days later asking for pricing for 10 to 15 seats. It's not a warm lead. That's a deal. Since then, we've had 6 calls, and we're now in legal for procurement. The MVP value here is about $4,700, but the price isn't what matters. What matters is that a mid-market team has validated VoxIntel through their security, AI governance, all the teams, and decided that we have value for their sales and go-to-market teams. I'm YB Carr. I spent 15 years in navigating teams out of the morgue into the cockpit and building sales teams. Shu, he's our lead engineer. He's building the platform. We're validated and backed by Founders Institute San Diego and Duke Innovation and Entrepreneurship and their team of go-to-market leaders. Every rep, your best rep, from day one, in real time, while the deal's still alive. That's VoxIntel. We're looking for introductions to go-to-market leaders, revenue leaders, sales teams. And if you're interested in this product, go ahead and scan the QR code Anyone here in this building today who has a B2B team, I'm willing to put some time on my calendar and I'll give you 30 days free using our platform so you can trial it. Thank you very much. I'll take your questions.
That's how you do it. I mean, that was really good. Either you've been in startups before, you've been coached to some degree, but I mean, effectively, that's how you pitch your business. I thought you did a great job of weaving in your founder's background even into the personal problem assessment right up front without getting super deep. But the first thing is, I've been 15 years in this business. Here's the problem I've lived. That makes me think, okay, this guy understands what he's about to talk about. And then you followed it up with the way you spoke about it. It was clear that you understood the problem inside and out, that you had lived it. So I immediately kind of leaned on you as an authority on this particular problem. I thought it was great the way you had a very targeted customer segment. So that means you know exactly who you're going after. You express the reason why, because the current solution doesn't really serve that customer and you're very well set up for it. So it gave me a very clear understanding of the opportunity and customer segment that, coupled with your experience, helps me understand that you're going to be very targeted and focused and that you can understand go-to-market with a very repeatable way. The 35x cost difference is a great rationale for why this particular customer might gravitate towards you. And so, I think overall, it was just kind of told in this very specific story where you start off by giving me a lot of confidence that you have expertise in the space. You touch on every one of the core points that I ultimately want. You have a very clear customer segment. The ask on the end was clear as well. I think if you were asking for money, it would have been perfectly fine as well. I think this is something where if I was a generalist investor, I'd say, yeah, I would take a second meeting. I would want to learn more about what you're doing. The last thing that I'll point out that some people don't always recognize is when we talk about putting together a pitch deck and telling the story, one of the easiest or best ways to start is put 15 blank slides and have the title of each slide be the headline of that story. And that's how yours were, right? So each title slide specifically says the very one succinct statement that you want people to take away. So if I look at nothing but your title slide, I effectively see an outline of the story you're about to tell me. And so as someone who looks at these pitch decks all the time, that's something that we notice, right? It helps us very quickly summarize if I'm not getting pitched, but I'm reading the pitch deck, it helps me understand exactly the point that's trying to be conveyed on that particular slide. Sometimes people just put a label, they're like, market, and it's like, yeah, I get this is the market, but tell me the one statement you want me to take away about your market. For you, it was the customer gong left behind. Right? It's very clear what you're trying to articulate to me through that headline. So I really got no bad feedback, right? I think that you hit on everything. I think you would have gotten a second meeting with most generalist investors as far as I'm concerned. So
wait for the email.
Yeah. You're good at presenting, but of course you better be, given what you're doing, right? A couple questions. So what is the differentiation between your product and competition, other than, I get that you're at a different price point and targeting a different market, but is there some sort of fundamental product difference, or is it purely just where you're pointed?
No, great question. The biggest difference is we're real time in the call. Gong, Chorus, Clary, those are the big players in call recording for B2B teams. They're all post-call review. So the meeting ends, and then you get an email, an AI summary of what happened, right? Well, you found out you messed up after you already messed up. Our product is built to identify those gaps while we're actually having this conversation and say, you know what? You don't know what the budget is. You don't know who has authority. You don't know what their timeline is. Here are some questions that you can ask right now to close those gaps. And there's no other product in the market that's doing that right now.
Thank you. Does what's being sold matter? Whether it's building products or a technology solution, does that matter at all, or this is equally applicable?
Based on the methodologies that our program is built to serve, which are three, it works better in B2B. We've trialed it in B2C. It's just a different sale, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to listen to your conversation. We're going to assess what was said in the initial warm-up of why are we taking this call, and we're going to prompt questions based off the actual conversation that's happening. We're actually developing now where you can upload a knowledge base for your particular product, so we can actually have product-specific coaching that's built into the product, but that's like V4. All set?
Yeah, we're good.
Thank you.
All right.